Hi, everybody. Um, it's been a while, so I was gonna talk to you guys for a little bit while we're looking at this beautiful cover. Few things going on in my life right now. Just transitioning my youngest to middle school has been really rough. She went to a charter elementary school that didn't really have a homework policy or anything like that, and so now she's at a middle school that's all strictly academic, and she's cheering for the cheerleading team at her new middle school. So there's like a lot of stuff going on. I haven't really had the time to really sit and concentrate on YouTube. I don't want to give you guys subpar content, so I'm trying to like really focus on getting my kids in order so that I can really concentrate on giving you guys some better content. I'm working on getting better equipment. I'm on the market for a new computer to help me with editing. So that's why I've kind of been going live. Um, I'm not like tech savvy. So learning a new editing system, I'd rather not change. So like if I have to learn an editing system, I'd rather be the one I used for a long time rather than have to change to something else. So I'm on the market for a MacBook Pro. So that way I can learn one kind of software and not have to worry about having to learn it again, a different kind. So anyway, that's just a little bit of what's going on and why I haven't been putting out videos as often as I'd liked. So this morning we're going to do September's monthly view. I'm thinking I might be using some stamps today as kind of a bit of a challenge. A friend of mine, a YouTuber and Instagram personality, E.Michelle, I sent her a Happy Mail almost nearly a year ago that had some stamps in it. She had seen one of my videos and asked me about stamping in my planner, and I had sent her a big giant care package. I basically destashed my stuff and sent her a giant box. Some new, some not, some gently used, some stamps, some planner stuff. I can't even remember it was in that box, but I remember it being giant and a lot of fun to watch her open on her channel. This was almost a year ago. And things happened. I stopped doing YouTube for a while and we kind of got busy and she just exploded on her channel. Congratulations, Michelle, you're amazing. Um, so I talked to her yesterday and I said, hey, I'm going to challenge you in my video to do your September monthly view with stamps. So these are some of the stamps that can't really see, some of the stamps that I'm going to use um, today in my September monthly. And also the ones from the Happy Planner. These are the only Happy Planner stamps that I have. I'm really looking to try them. I've gone to Joann's and Michaels several times and held onto the stamps the whole time, and I always put them back because I have so many stamps. Am a artist before I was a planner. So I've done art journaling since as far as I can remember. So stamps and stencils and all kinds of like fun paints and things have always been my jam. And so now I'm into the planning and I'm trying to find a way to incorporate both of them into one hobby. So into one thing. And I really like the fact that Happy Planner lets you be a little bit more creative. So I want to use these. I didn't want to buy any more planner stamps until I tried these ones. I have not tried these yet. These are from the Be Happy box. Once I try these out and see how they work, then maybe I'll invest in some more Happy Planner stamps. I don't know. We'll see. It seems to me like these lines will be really, really small and like not very useful to write in, but I'm going to try it and we're going to see. We're going to learn, figure this out together. So these are the stamps. I'm not using all of these stamps, but I'm going to use a few from each of these stamp sets. These stamp sets are by Dylusions. You can get them at Michaels and Joann's. And yeah, I think Michaels and Joann's. I know Hobby Lobby has a little bit of the Dylusions, but I don't think they carry the stamps. I think they carry more of the paints. So, okay. So let's get started. Let me pull out. Okay, so let me show you really fast. I'm not going to do a whole flip through, but I'm going to show you really fast what last month looked like so I know. Okay, so pull this out so you can see. This is last month. So I used a few stamps and some stickers from the Be Happy box. These were in that first coordinated accessory pack thing. Some of those sticky notes, very, very cute. I loved how this turned out, and I'm going to kind of do the same thing for September. So I'm going to pull out September. This is how I pre-plan. So, oh, sorry, you're not in the frame. This is how I pre-plan. I use sticky notes, and I might actually use, because it matches fairly well, I might actually use this one as a sticker and just put some tape runner underneath it. Maybe not this one, but a sticky note like this. Have them sitting here. Oh, thought I turned my sounds off. I'm really sorry. Give me 1 second. Oops. Sorry about that. Let me fix the setting. This is the one downside of filming on my phone, is that I put it in airplane mode, I turn off all the sounds, and then something always gets through. I don't know why that is or how that is, but something always happens. Let me see. Hi, now I can see your comments. Okay, so this is how I pre-plan. This has all of my bills and like kids volleyball games and soccer games, and up here, if I know these are all the dates for the month, then I'll put them like this. This is like our Girl Scout days and Boy Scout days, and my daughter has a running doctor's appointment on Wednesdays, and I've got a fundraiser over here and some other stuff, my nail appointments, my bills. This is kind of how I pre-plan for the month. I put my paydays on a sheet. It's kind of how that works. So now I'm going to take all of these off, and it's important. I've noticed that it's important to put the date like this right here. Once I take this off and I decorate my spread, I'm going to forget which day this was supposed to be on. So I'm going to run through, and I think most of these I put the dates on, but I want to make sure that I don't skip one, because then I'll be like, which day was it? Because I don't write this down anywhere else. I write it on a sticky note when I get the date, or on the flyer, or the kids tell me what day it is. I put it on the thing, and then I don't use it. I don't think about it again. So now I'm going to take these out so that we can push the planner aside. And then now we're looking at this. So now I'm going to take all of these off and set them aside. Now we can just chit chat, because this is easy stuff. Lots going on in September. Lots going on always. So this is going to be really fun. I'm trying to decide what color. Since this is pink, I kind of want to go with like a pink and orange color scheme. But we will see, because sometimes I'll put a stamp down and I'll be like, it's not a pink stamp. Like this design does not look good in pink, or something like that. And end up being purple or blue. Or does anyone else have trouble with the Happy Planner sticky notes not sticking very well? Some of them stick really well. Like this one will stick down if I just left it alone, but these like curl up, and I don't know if it's just because they're smaller or skinnier, but sometimes they just don't want to stick down. Okay, now that we're done with this, okay, so now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to plan where I'm going to put my stamps. So this is where clear blocks come in handy. I don't know if you can see that. This is an acrylic block for putting stamps on. So let's say I want to start with, where's the flower one? Here they are. So when you get stamps, they come on these plastic things. These like acrylic sheets, and they stick. So you're gonna have to pull it off. And then this is the stamp. So now I'm gonna set it on here. And I mean, there are all different kinds of acrylic blocks. This one is just like one of my go-to ones. It's kind of dirty right now, but I use this one a lot because it fits most of my stamps. Perfect. But I really kind of like this one too. It's a little bit heavier. It's very thick and it kind of has a grip. See how it gives you like a finger space? The problem with this one is I never place them evenly. It always ends up like off center or smeared. Then there's like these kind that have the grid lines in them so that you can line up stamps. So like, let's say you were doing a card like or something and you wanted it straight. You could line it up on the grid lines and then do the same one next to it. So you could do like a whole row of flowers if you wanted. Does that make sense? So yeah, these are the different kind of acrylic blocks. There's all kinds. And honestly, any kind of acrylic block, any kind of piece of plastic you could stamp with, as long as it's hard, as long as it's rigid and it gives you, and it sticks. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is my favorite kind of ink. It's archival ink. I always use black when I'm doing the monthly because I'm going to use other colors, and I don't know, I've always just used black because then I'll go in and color the stamp, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. It's kind of like watercolor. So let's ink this up. And we're going to set this one someplace that I don't have a ton to do. So let's see. Thursdays are pretty, I don't know. I'm gonna just go with it and we'll figure out how to do it over. That's what stickers are for, correct? So I'm just gonna set these right here. Let's go down here. I think I only have a nail appointment on this day, so I can always just put a sticker on it. And here's the thing, I'm working on a dry erase board, so if I wanted to go over, I could go over the edge. See how I got ink on it? And I will just clean that right up with some water. This is a water brush. I'll just put some water on it. And wipe it right up. Let me grab a piece of Kleenex. So this will come right off. It's going to take a little bit. I let it sit too long. As long as it gets wiped up, eventually it will come off. Okay, so that's how I did that. And now I'm going to do a different stamp. So the first thing I do when I'm stamping is I try to incorporate all the stamps I'm going to use. I have a bigger block. This is again by the same company, Dylusions, paint company. This is the journaling block. It's awesome. It's got a straight line you can use as a ruler. It's got a wavy line over here. See the wavy line? So that you could use it to make like fun designs. And it's also an acrylic stamp block. So I can line this up. You can even use it as like if you wanted to make it really precise and measure, you could measure. But I'm just going to go with it in the center. I'm going to make sure that it's not crooked. There we go. My dog is underneath my feet snoring, so if you hear it, that's what that is. So, I'm going to ink this up. Sometimes it helps to do it this way so you can see. I've got like the camera mount like right by my wrist, so I'm afraid I'm going to bump it. So like that, I just did. So this is going to fit almost the whole thing. So we're going to go over just a little bit. There's that. Lift it up. Perfect. And it's a little off center, but it doesn't matter because once we paint it, once we fill it in with color, you're not even going to notice it. I do have a smaller version of this stamp, but I am not going to dig for it. So we're going to just stamp half of it. That's the best part of stamps, is that you don't have to use the whole thing. You just use the parts you want, as long as you're just inking the parts that you want. So, whoa, let's see. I guess the whole thing will fit. going to be a little off, but again, it doesn't really matter. Oops, I messed that one up. Let's see if I can fix it. And that's the thing with stamps, is that if you're not willing to make some mistakes, it's never going to work. Like you'll never use them. So far, I'm pretty happy with it. At least my lines are consistent. So let's see, what else do we want? I want to use these circles. These ones right here. And I do have another circle that I really like also. So I'm sorry. I don't know why this is like, it's really annoying. I've tried to turn it off. It's the problem with live videos, is I'm trying to turn everything off and it's still not working. This is why I really want to get some proper equipment. So I'm just going to arrange these in a way that I like them. And these ones have little like news, like writing in them, like type. It's actually really cute. I love the way it looks. So that's how it's going to look. And where do I want to put them? Let's see. I think I'm going to put them off to the side over here. Things with like to-do lists and stuff, if I don't like it, I can always put a sticker over it. So we're going to do this. I think on Sundays we only have soccer games. So I can always put a sticker on top of it that has the time and the place. So I'm liking how that looks. And with these, I just take a piece of like an old piece of something and I will stamp out the rest of the ink. And that's how I clean them. I don't really put solvent or cleaner on them at all because it kind of eventually, like, it degrades the rubber. I mean, some people clean their stamps like with brushes and like really like get into it. I don't, because my art style is a little bit messy. Like I kind of like the beautiful mess type art. So I don't really clean my stamps as much as I probably should. So let's see. I want to use this one somewhere else, probably up in that corner. And just because I put these stamps down does not mean that I won't cover them up with a sticker or a banner or a header of some kind. The stamp will just peek out from the other side. I kind of like this one, but I'm not sure if it matches. I think I'm going to put it over here. And I'm going to purposely put it over the 15 number on the calendar so I can show you that you can cover things up and you can bring them back with a pen or some sort of material. I think that I'm done. One of the things with stamping is that you don't necessarily, oh, I do want to use this one. You don't have to go, a few stamps go a long way. You can always add more. You can't ever take it off. Once it's down, it's down. So I'm thinking, it's at one of those critical moments right now where I'm like, I really want to put another stamp down, but I'm really not sure it needs it. It's a lot of stamp at the top and some stamp at the bottom and some stamp in the middle. I think I'm done. I really wanted to use this one, but I think I'm done. So I'm going to move the stamps aside now. I am going to use a couple of these. But the decorative stamps are pretty much done for this time. I'm going to use this again. Okay, so now I want to use a couple of the Happy Planner ones. So let's, I already used circles, so I don't want to use those. I'm not quite sure how I want to use that. I don't know. Let's see, because it's going to be, so let's use the Be Happy. I know it seems lame, just using the words, but I also want to use these dots. I'm just not quite sure where yet. And as we continue, maybe I'll figure it out. Okay. Wow, that is a lot of ink. I'm actually going to practice this one. Something to look for when you're buying stamps is to see, okay, see how the rubber, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but see how the silicone comes up past here? See where my finger is? You have to be careful not to get ink on that part, because then you'll have Be Happy, but you'll also have the circle around it. So you want to look for stamps that the words or the image stick out a lot farther than the silicone that holds it on the block. Does that make sense? So you want to make sure that your stamp is raised enough to catch ink without getting ink on this piece. Because otherwise you'll have Be Happy, but you'll also have the circle that goes all the way around it. And we don't want that on our final copy. Okay, so I'm going to put Be Happy over here on monthly goals. Because there's always a goal to be happy. All right. I also want to use this dots one. So I'm not going to put this away quite yet because I don't want to forget to use it. But we will see. All right. So now what we do is we're going to pick our colors. And we're going to color in our flowers over here and the top part at the top. These dots, circles over there. So this is the kind of ink that I like to use. These are water-based inks, so they react with water. A lot of stamp pads are pigment-based, and pigment-based is, to me, for a beginner, is a little hard to work with because they don't really dry very well. They have to be heat set to dry completely, in my opinion. Some people like pigment ink more. I think it's hard to work with. I think it smears, all of these things. But that's just my opinion. Every artist has their favorite tools. And water-based ink is the way I've always done things. So I'm going to look at this. It's pink and like a corally pink. So an orange. I'm going to go with, these are Tim Holtz Distressed Inks. These are the minis. They also come in full-size stamp pads. I'm going to go with Worn Lipstick. And I need some yellow for the centers of the flowers. So I'm going to go with Mustard Seed. Oops, sorry. I used to have these in order of set, and so that's why these are like that. So if I ever want to, then I decided to put them in color palette order. So if I ever want to move it back to original, like the 4 in each set, I could follow the thing at the bottom. So, and then I want to do an orange. So let's do, ooh, Abandoned Coral. Is that too close? I think it is. Yeah, it's too close. Oops. So let's do Spiced Marmalade. And then let's do a green. Let's do the Bundled Sage. Okay, I also have blues and purples in this one. Oops, sorry. Blues and purples in this one. And like all of your neutral browns and grays and blacks in this one. So I have quite a few tins of inks. Okay, so I'm going to show you how I color in my stamps. I'm going to take my journaling block. Ooh, gosh, I totally hit the tripod. Sorry. These I bought. They were regular price, like $12.99. They were kind of expensive. I held off on a really long time. Then I found them at Hobby Lobby for like $1.15 a piece. So I bought every single one that they had. I spent like $10, but I have a whole bunch of them, and I use them as palettes. So I have one that has like paint on it. This one is sort of new, but I'm going to use it like a palette. So I'm going to take these stamp pads, and instead of, excuse me, instead of using it like a stamp pad, which I could have just dipped the stamps in here, I'm going to use a water brush, and that's what this is. I have a couple. These ones are my favorite. These are the Jane Davenport ones from Michaels. They're relatively inexpensive. You get two for $7 or something like that. And they have different tips. Like one will be super fine and the other one will be more of a rounded, bigger brush. So this is just filled with water. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze out a couple of drops on here just to wet the brush. And then I'm going to use this. This is the Spice Marmalade. I'm going to stamp it down on the pad, on the acrylic block. And now I have ink to color with. So I'm going to stamp out my colors. Okay, these are also stackable. So I can stack them up like this and put them off to the side. I don't want to put them away yet because I might need more. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So now I'm going to start coloring the flowers. I'm just going to do it really fast. So I'm just going to do it. And by now the archival ink is completely dry. That's the black ink that we... Hi! Hello, I got new people popping in. Paper and pen girl, you're killing it. I've been watching your videos lately. Amazing. So I'm just going to take the yellow and fill in all of the centers of the flowers. Sorry, we're shaking a little bit. So we're going to do this super fast. Doesn't have to be perfect because it's watercolor. When the water comes in, it will blend like a watercolor painting. So now I have yellow on this brush, but I want to change out the color. So these sticky notes are sticking to my hands. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to that droplet of water that I put on the palette, and I'm going to smear it around and get rid of some of that yellow that's in there. And then you can always wipe it off with a Kleenex if you wanted to, make sure. I don't really care because it's watercolor, and so, you know, when I put orange or pink on these flowers, it's all going to blend together anyhow. So let's do pink around this flower. Let's do this really fast. See, Michelle, you have a challenge. Super fast. I've been like fighting the summer cold for it seems like forever. And I don't feel sick anymore. I don't feel tired. I feel fine. I feel like getting up and doing things. But like I have a sneeze coming on and I'm just telling you right now that I'm going to sneeze in a second. And I can't wait to get my computer, or my husband told me last night, he has this thing where he will sit on something for a really long time. Like when we got engaged, we went ring shopping so he could see what I liked in like April. And he didn't buy it until May. And then he didn't officially ask me to get married until June. He like totally put stuff off. It's actually kind of, I mean, some people would be annoyed. I think it's kind of funny. But so I'm just throwing some green in here to make the flowers look, stems show up. And I've got a few little leaves. I'm loving this color. Can you guys see it? The way that this is showing up, it's kind of like a greenish brown, but it reminds me of the end of fall, like the beginning of fall flowers, like the end of summer bloom. So let's do some orange. That's awful close. I think I'm going to need another color. Oh, thanks. That's the cool part about watercolor is it doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, I could take these two colors, this yellow and pink, and like mix them together and get a totally different orange than what is over here. So I think I need a darker pink. So I'm going to go back to my tray and get Festive Berries and stamp that one out. Oh yeah, that one's a lot darker. Pick some of this up, and I'm going to go over this flower because it was too close to the orange. So yeah, so I've been like working on this cold forever, and it's really starting to just be in this annoying stage. Like, I feel fine. Go away already. So it's been a while. Like, I haven't really talked to any of you in a very long time. So some things that have happened to me this summer. Went to New Orleans for the tail end of the Essence Festival, and then I took a cruise out to Mexico from the port of New Orleans for 5 days. That was my summer vacation. And then we came back after 5 days out at sea. We spent 5 more days in New Orleans. So, oh my goodness, it was like kind of a fabulous trip, like for real. So much fun. Just me and my husband and a couple of friends, all adults. It was great. So that's my flowers. I actually skipped a leaf over there, so I'm going to clean off my brush. Ooh, this has a lot of orange on it. These come in 2-packs, these water brushes. So instead of like wasting time cleaning that one, I'm just going to pull out the other one and fill in this leaf that I missed. So that's kind of how it looks. And if you really look, like, I'll try to focus, I'll try to bring it up to the camera so you can see. But if it's not like a coloring book where every single line is filled in. See, like how down here it's kind of bleeding through. That's fine. Like, it's an all over look anyway. And once that dries, if you're feeling like it looks messy, you could always take a pen and like clean that up if you wanted to. And I'm going to show you how to do some detail work once this dries a bit with a white pen, and it's going to look amazing. Okay. This video is going to be kind of long. I'm starting to realize that without editing and doing it live, it's like the whole process. So now that we have our color palette, I'm just going to move on. I'm going to leave this one alone for a little bit to dry, and I'm going to do this page and just get it done. So I'm going to speed things up just a little bit. All right, so over here we're going to do, and the thing with this black and white like stripey thing is I want it to be black and orange, and I'm just going to do it because you can go over the ink. That's the best part. You can flip these things around and just do it. Doesn't have to be perfect, and it's certainly not delicate. And I want to use this red. So you would think, since I'm a happy planner and I have all of them, right? I have a memory keeper and a recipe one, and I have them all. The sad thing is I haven't been using them all like I expected, like I really wanted to. And I'm holding myself to that now. Now that I have, it's like I'm always making excuses, but now that I have all of my kids in school, my oldest graduated last year and he's doing his thing in college, and my 2 little ones are now at the same school on the same schedule. I have time to, I'm not having to like go back and forth to school a million times with different schedules. So now I have time to really start using all of my happy planners. With my vacation that I just did, that we just had in July, I really wanted to use my, hi, I don't want to pronounce her name wrong. Is it Shreya? Shreya? Thank you for joining us. We're stamping and chatting. What I was saying was I can't wait to get all of my vacation photos and get them in my memory keeper. Sharia. Did I say it right? Sharia? That's pretty. I've never heard that before. I like it. So, other adventures from this summer, we ended up with 2 new dogs. We got a husky by accident. Well, actually, both by accident. I think that looks nice with the flowers that are already there. Okay, we're gonna do these down here, and then we'll do the other side, and then we'll be done with the paint, with the stamping. So let's see. I want to do this orange that we made. Yeah, so a husky, my son, my 13-year-old, has a girlfriend. He's had a girlfriend for about a year. They're almost 14 now, so they started, their year was just this past week. And they're adorable. I know it seems really young, but they're like super mature. They talk to each other better than some married people I know, honestly. So she was out walking her dog in her neighborhood and saw a dog covered in mud without a collar, and went, like any other 13-year-old girl, went to go see who it belonged to. Well, collar, it had a chip, and the chip, it belonged to somebody, so they contacted the people that belonged to, and they were like an elderly couple, and they were sick of this dog. They were like, just keep her or take her to the shelter. And she was so sad. And my son has always wanted a husky, so she asked if we could foster the dog until they found a place for him, or like a no-kill, like a husky rescue or something like that, till they could find a place for her. Well, anyway, of course, my son falls in love with this dog, and now we have a husky. Because my kids are good kids, and they get good grades, and they play sports, and they keep it together. And how do you tell a kid no when they're doing amazing things? So that's how this side turned out. I think it looks great. I think the colors match quite nicely. Let's do this side really fast. So then my daughter and I have been butting heads a lot lately. She's at that age. She's almost 12. She'll be 12 in January. She's just not my little girl anymore. She's having attitude all the time, and I'm trying to, like, I raised her to be opinionated and to speak her mind, but at the same time, it's like I don't regret raising her to have her own opinions and not be shy about sharing them, but I'm also like, I'm your mom. There's a difference. And we used to be close, and I don't want to ruin that. So we're just bumping heads a lot. She really wanted to do cheer. She tried out last spring, made the team, and then realized it's a lot more than strutting around in a uniform. It is hard work. And she was having a lot of issues because she's very small, and so they were having her be the one that gets thrown up, the flyer on the team. And she was not happy about it. She just wants to do the floor stuff and the cartwheels and the back handsprings and those things. And I was trying to explain to her that you don't get to choose your position on a team. Very rarely does a coach go, what would you like to do? I mean, just because they ask that doesn't mean that you're going to get that. That's not how coaching works. That's not how teams work. Sometimes you don't have a choice as to what your part on the team is. So we were having a lot of problems beginning of the summer with not wanting to go to practice, not wanting to be involved in like team social activities, just trying to, there comes that sneeze. I'm sorry. I was trying to hold it back. So we're having a lot of discussions lately about what it means to keep your word, and when you say you're going to do something, you need to do it, and those kinds of conversations. Ooh, that one got a little pink. And a lot of, I'm going to sneeze again. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. So yeah, we've been having a lot of those kinds of issues. And then of course school started, and it was, oh my goodness, there's a lot of work. This is a lot. I'm not used to this. a lot of that kind of drama. And then this past week we had some girl drama on top of that. The whole just tearing each other down. If you're follow me on Instagram, my Mambi quote of the week talked about that. Just I don't understand. Ooh, that's kind of too close to the same. I don't understand why women feel they need to tear each other down to make themselves look better. I don't understand that whole concept. That whole idea just makes no sense in my head. You know, we have so much to deal with being women. Like, we have so many things against us already. Like, why do we have to be against each other? I don't understand that concept whatsoever. And it starts so young. I mean, you've got fourth grade girls like just ragging on each other really hard and out for blood, like in a just very vindictive, mean way. It's not nice. Okay, these two colors are kind of close in my opinion, but I'm going to leave it for right now and let it dry a little and then add a second color. I'm going to sneeze again. I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is how my palette looks. I'm actually going to wipe it off so that I don't drop some of the beads of water. Now the colors can stay. Once these colors dry, this is the cool part about this. Oops. Once these dry, can you see the paint on them? Once they dry, they won't move. And I can add a little water and then reuse them again. They'll instantly reactivate and it'll be great. So I'm just going to leave these on here because I might use this same palette in one of my spreads this month. So I'm going to leave that there. Okay. Now this is pretty much dry down here in the corner. It was the first thing we did. So now I'm going to pull out one of my favorite things. And it is you guys have seen these, I'm sure. The Uniball Signo pens. This is a broad pen. They do have them in other points, but I'm just going to use it for outlining. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a very fine tip. This is white and it's pigment. And this one I have several. I bought a bunch of them. These are all in the, at Michaels. You can buy them individually now, like open stock. So I'm so glad. And they have many different colors. But this one's my favorite. It's the white. I'm going to use this and get started on this scratch piece of paper so I can see if... Sometimes with pigment, it'll get stuck on the nib, on the tip, and then it's like, so you have to get it started. So this is what I'm going to do with this. I'm just going to outline. And it doesn't have to be perfect because this is just like a rough sketch. I'm just going to line some of these flowers. Really fast. So that is the end result. So just put a little bit more detail. Super pretty. This is a little bit more creative for most people, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy doing the little extras because I have to look at this for a full month. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of sick of August. Like, it was cute and I really liked it at first. And I still like it. I'm just ready for a change. So this one is going to be the one that I look at for the next month. So I think that's all I'm going to do on that. And I'm not going to touch this one because I'm going to go over it with some more yellow and make that a little less orange. Oops, I'm bumping this. I'm a hot mess when it comes to these videos, let me tell you. So over here on these ones, I'm just going to outline because again, I might put a sticker over that and cover up part of it. Over here. I realize this is like an incredibly long video. I don't expect you all to stay the whole time, but by all means, I would love to have you for the whole time. You can always come back and watch the end. I realize it's a Thursday and most people are working. So that's how the spread looks. Oh, and I did want to show you how you can go over the number. If you go over the number in white and let that dry, then you can go over it in black with like a Inkjoy or a micron, and it'll stand out and you'll still know the date of that day. So that's how that looks. I'm pretty much done with the stamps. I do want to use this one though. Let's see. Maybe I will put it somewhere on one of the days and then put a stamp over it. Ooh, a sticker. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, these are brand new, so they're really tight. I hope that Happy Planner does another box. Maybe that's, isn't there an announcement today? What time is that thing? Is that at? I wrote it down. So I think I'm just gonna do half of this stamp because I want it to fit in the box. So let's do Labor Day because there's no school and I could just put a stamp over it or a sticker. And let's do the 20th because I just have bills to pay that day. I think that looks great. I love it. All right, perfect. So let's move on to the next thing we've got to do here. All of my sticky notes, if you could see off camera, like I've got tons of sticky notes all along the sides. Oh yes, the announcement is tomorrow. It's the 31st, isn't it? Does anyone know the time? I hope they do another box because that was pretty awesome. Like I was very excited about that. And I do like a subscription box. I'll be bummed out because I won't be able to, I can't afford a monthly fee, which is so stupid because if I stopped buying stickers at Michaels, that is a monthly fee, right? Or Joann's, really. Joann's has been my jam lately. Michael's selection has gone downhill. This is the washi I chose to do some extra details. So it's it's like a coral and white stripe. So I'm just gonna go through this side right here. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love doing washi along the center. Oh, except for when it rips. All right, let's do it this way. It's a lot harder to do this on camera. Oh my goodness, go down. I think that doing, oh no wonder, it's like torn. That sucks. Is it cut? I've never used this washi before, so it's not acting like washi. It's like not very sticky. So yeah, I love the super thin washi now, and I'm all about all the colors. So that's how that's going to look, and I'll have to go back with scissors and cut them out, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm not going to take up your time with that. Someone left a window open. Somebody left a window open, and now we have flies in the house. Ugh. one of the screens downstairs, the husky tore a big hole in it, and I have yet to replace it. And I keep telling the kids, don't open that window. Just turn on the swamp cooler if you're hot. And they keep opening that window, and now we have flies in the house, and flies are so annoying. Okay, so that's how that's gonna look. I'm loving it. Just have to go and cut those out at some point. Cut all the little nibs out. Okay, now I'm gonna go back and add all of my details, all of my stuff. I'm gonna put some stickers down really fast, and then I'm gonna say goodbye, and I will post the completed pictures on my Instagram. I'm also at Little Paper Penguin on Instagram. I will post what the final things look like, but I'm gonna set some stickers down so we can continue to chit chat for a couple minutes, and then we're gonna go. I'm actually gonna use one of these. I really like the flowers. We're gonna put it, do I want to do it here? Nope, I want to put it right here. And we'll use one more. Actually, I'm just going to use it, the one I already pre-wrote. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to go back and use some tape runner to hold those in place. Let's see what else. Stickers. Let's do. Ooh, these are perfect. This is from the Joann's Mega Pack. I want to use some of the boxes in here. These are really cute. I hope that they put, maybe not this exact sticker book, but a variation of it. Name it something and put it out, because these stickers, like, I love this one a lot. It doesn't match our spread today, but I love it. Like these ones down here, so cute. Okay, this is what I want. I wanted this one for a weekly doctor's appointment. So just going to use all these. I know some of these colors aren't exactly in our scheme, but when I pick a color scheme, it's very loose, and I'm very much don't mind putting other colors in, just very sporadically. So like I probably won't use a lot of orange and pink stickers in this spread because of so much orange and pink already. So I might go with some blues and some like pastel colors like this. Let's see. I do have some bills I need to pay. Since I don't, I only have a few bills. The way my husband and I have split up our finances, I don't pay all the bills. I only pay a few of the bills, and I don't keep track. He keeps track of his budget, and I keep track of mine. And that's kind of how we've done things. And it works for us. I know some people are like, that is insane. We have a joint checking account, and then we both have our own checking accounts. We pay bills out of the joint checking account, and it's nice to have your own money, because I like to buy him things, and I don't like him to see what it is I'm buying him or where it's coming from. So I might order something, and he'll be like, well, I got the credit card bill, blah, blah, blah. What did you order, and how much was it? And, you know, what are you doing spending money? And I'd rather, I mean, he would never say that, but I would rather like be able to surprise him once in a while. It's kind of a nice thing. So I'm going to put this here. It's our no school day, and we'll probably barbecue or something because it's Labor Day. I want to use this one on the 8th, and these are just replacing my sticky notes. This down here, and this is going to be really, this is what I'm talking about layering the stickers on the stamps. I'm actually going to put this sticker right here because I have something on this day I have 2 things on this day actually. So I'm actually going to find a spot to put this that doesn't cover it up too much. I don't want to cover up all the leaves. I think I'm just going to put it right here across the center of these flowers because I do have something that day, but it was the best place for the stamp. So if the stamp fits, you can always put a sticker over it. And this is the smallest box I could find to put in my thing for that day without ruining the flowers too much. So there's that. Let's see what else. Well, this video is very long. I think I'm going to get going, and you will have to check out my Instagram to see the final result, but this is how this is starting to look. So thank you for joining me. If you like videos like this or you want to see some more videos, don't forget to like and subscribe below. Hit that bell so you don't miss any other videos coming. Thank you for your patience with my allergies and my phone not being turned off all the way. It keeps vibrating. I'm not sure how I'm not turning off the settings. I thought silence meant silence, but apparently not. So I will work on that for the next video. Check out my Instagram for the finished product and have a great day. Happy planning, guys.